Tonight, a difficult topic to tackle, but one that will grip nearly all of us at one time or another. I'm talking about grief. The emotions that come with grief can feel overwhelming and unpredictable. It's not a linear process, nor is there a right way to grieve. So when a young wife and mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, she and her husband made the choice to openly share their journey. The videos they made have received more than 700 million views on social media. Here's the touching story of Haley and Taylor.
When I first saw Haley, it took my breath away. We dated all through high school, college, and 10 years ago, I proposed to her.
It's a beautiful day. Taylor and Haley, take New York.
A year after we got engaged, she was having some health issues and gaining weight, and so she went to the doctor, and doctor comes in, she's got tears in her eyes and says, "You have advanced ovarian cancer." And I'd never felt a fear like that in my life.
What surgery number is this for us?
12.
I'm tired of hospitals.
Me too.
April of 2016, we had a major surgery that lasted almost 9 hours. They removed both ovaries, her uterus, a foot of her colon, 4 lymph nodes, her appendix, her spleen, her gallbladder. But not only that, they were able to remove 100% of visible cancer, which was honestly a miracle.
We just got back from seeing Dr. Chi, and we're all clear to go start our lives.
And so that was the time we decided to move forward with surrogacy. And so she could be a mother and I could be a dad.
I've always wanted a baby.
January of 2019, our son Weston was born. That was the greatest day. Within a year of Weston being born, after dealing with cancer for 7 years, then the cancer started coming back.
I hate this.
I remember when the doctor told us, Haley just said, "I guess this is it then."
So when you can't see mommy, where am I?
In your heart.
In your heart.
By July, she'd been in hospice for 7 months, and she had fought to the end. So I brought Weston in. He got up and gave her a kiss on the cheek. She kind of woke up and looked at him and said, "I love you, Weston." She passed away 2 days later.
Well, Taylor, thanks for being here.
Of course, I'm appreciative to be here and continue the story and keep the conversation going about, the hardships of losing a loved one. And it's something we all go through. Everybody in this life is going to lose somebody at some point.
Yeah. I know a lot of people have wanted to talk to you about this. Why did you decide to do it here and why now?
I try to live by what Haley, asked me to promise her, and that was to live my life to the fullest and to continue her message going forward and to keep her memory alive. Her greatest fear was being forgotten. And I said, "I'm never going to let you be forgotten." And nothing fires me up more than talking about her. She's the greatest person I've ever known. And I wanted to come on here and continue to preach what she believed and what she taught me about life. And I never dreamed I would be here talking to you about her. I mean, I'm just blown away. So very grateful.
She would approve?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
She would be very proud.
Did you ever imagine when you started kind of doing a video diary of this and unfolding it, that it would get such attention and be such an inspiration to people?
From the very beginning, I just had this weird belief that our story would actually get out there because it just is a powerful story. I did some original videos years ago right after she got sick, just trying to keep our family informed. But really when I posted in November of 2022, after we found out we were at the end of the road, and that's when it just went crazy. I mean, just exploded.
Take me through the moment when you first heard that she had this diagnosis and that it was very, very serious.
We were 2 months from getting married. I had just recently graduated from A&M in petroleum engineering, and we had the world ahead of us, very excited for our future. And she had been having some issues and some bloating issues and weight gain and energy. And so she finally went to the doctor and got like an ultrasound to kind of see what was going on there. And then they quickly realized they needed to do a CT scan. So we did that a few days later, and I was at work. She called me, said, I've got a grapefruit-sized mass in my abdomen, and I've got an appointment with an oncologist at noon. Can you come home? And I mean, she's sobbing. I can barely understand her. And I said, of course, I'll be there. I jumped in the car, and I remember driving home just praying out loud, like, Lord, let me have kids. Like, please don't take that from me and Haley. Like, I want kids, and got home. She was still freaking out, and I was trying to stay calm. And so we went to the appointment, and I was so naive at that age. I think I was 23, 24, that we walked into the waiting room, and I saw people that were bald with no hair. And then I realized an oncologist was a cancer doctor. And then I'm like, this isn't happening. And I just started panicking and freaking out and internally trying to keep it together. And they called her back and went back there, and the doctor comes in and opens the paperwork and looks up, and she's got tears. And she said, I've been doing this a long time, and by the looks of your scans that I'm looking here, you have ovarian cancer. And if you do, it's advanced. And we were just shocked. The room goes quiet, just like they show in the movies. And so the first thing Haley says is, please tell me I can have children. And she said, unfortunately, you're going to have to worry about that later because you're fighting for your life. And then everything just seemed to spiral out of control. I experienced a debilitating fear that I can't put into words. We were about 2 months from getting married, and, looking forward to moving forward with that. And, this actually is just heartbreaking for me to think about. But that night, she sat me down and said, if you would like to move on, I don't blame you. Like, I'm going to give you nothing but a broken life, and you deserve the world, and you've worked hard, and you deserve a good life. And it just broke me for her to be that low, but that mature, to be like, I release you, like, because we weren't married yet. And I said, are you crazy? Like, we're riding this together. Like, I hope you would stand by me. And she was like, of course I would. And I was like, well, then let's figure out what we're going to do. Let's get this solved.
And you did get married?
Yep, we did get married. 2 months later, she did 9 weeks of chemo, lost her hair. Fortunately, we were able to do first look photos within a few days of the diagnosis. She wanted to take pictures in her wedding dress with her hair, in her natural body before she was loaded up with steroids from the chemo. So then got married in February of 2016, and it was a great day, but it was a day with a cloud over it. It was just hard to concentrate.
And what happened 3 days after the wedding? Did you know that high blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for mortality? 1 in 2 adults has it. That's a 50-50 chance you are a walking time bomb. But here's the good news. You can take control of your blood pressure naturally without relying on Big Pharma. 120 Life combines delicious super fruit juices proven to help lower blood pressure. Backed by hundreds of doctors and trusted by thousands with real results, it's a solution you can rely on. The best part? It's risk-free. Try it for 2 weeks. If your numbers don't improve, you get your money back. Lower blood pressure or your money back. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Go to 120life.com. That's 120life.com and use code PHIL, P-H-I-L, to save 15% and get free shipping. This is serious. This is your life we're talking about. 120 Life can help. What happened 3 days after the wedding?
3 days later, she got her scan to see how the chemo, if it did what we needed it to do, so we could do a surgery. And the doctor comes in and says, it did not work. We've got tumor growth all over, nothing shrunk. And she just had this tone and this sensed that she wanted to say more but wasn't, and I just had this need to find out what was going on, so I asked everybody to step out, and I wanted to talk to the doctor alone. And I was sitting there, and I looked up at her, and I said, "She's dying, isn't she?" She said, "She's got probably 6 months." And so I just married her 3 days ago, and now I find out she's not going to make it. And I broke down, and she comforted me, and I told her, I said, "I can't tell Haley that. Like, you're going to have to tell her that." And she said, "The only reason I didn't tell her is because you are about to go on your honeymoon. I want her to enjoy that and not worry about this. And I also want another week to kind of see if I can come up with another plan." And I said, "All right." So I went on that honeymoon knowing that was probably our last trip, and that was the biggest burden I've ever carried, of knowing her fate, but luckily it turned out that there was another plan that God had in store, and her doctor said, "I know of a surgeon in New York, and he is the best ovarian cancer debulking surgeon in the world. If anyone could help you, it's him." And ended up removing 100% of visible cancer, which I thought was a miracle. Now, he made it very clear that, she wasn't cancer-free. She still had microscopic cancer cells, but any visible tumors he removed.
And you had quality time.
Yes, she went from having massive tumors all over to nothing. And so that definitely gave us years. She was diagnosed in 15 and passed away in 23. So a lot more than 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 8 years.
Yeah.
And you did have a child.
Yes. This was around 2018. We found a drug that seemed to maintain the tumor growth at what it was and seemed to keep it at a steady level. And the doctor truly felt that we had a really good longevity estimate for her. Because if we were going to bring a child into this world, we wanted to have a lot of time. And Haley deserved to be a mom. She was put on this planet to be a mom. I can tell you that 100%. So we decided to move forward. And what's really cool about this story that I think is amazing is we have a family friend that Haley nannied for. And on our wedding night, she came up to Haley and said, "If you ever are in a place to have children, I will be your surrogate." And she reminded us every year, "I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do it." So we took her up on the offer, and Haley always wanted a girl, and I always wanted a boy. And we agreed that the healthiest embryo is the one we would transfer. And so we go into the appointment, and the doctor says, "All right, healthiest embryo you want is it's a girl." And I go, "What about the second one?" He goes, "It's a girl." I was like, man, strike two, And I said, "Number 3. And he said, "Boy." And so I was just ready to move forward with the girl, and Haley looks up and she goes, "Let's transfer the boy." And I go, "What?" She says, "I can't give you kids, but I can give you a son." I started to document Haley's journey off and on through the years.
I like you.
Now I can give you the...
You're my girl.
Haley really got into the videos.
Should we show the video of what you did?
Then Weston, when he was born, he was in a lot of the videos. And that's when we started receiving hundreds of messages and these people that were having struggles in their own life.
Please know how much you are changing my life and everyone around you.
She was absolutely inspiring to so many people.